Good morning or good afternoon. Good afternoon. Maybe, good morning, everybody. I am really overwhelmed by the presence of large number of representatives of the chemical industry in this conference. Mr. Ashok Amarlal Panjwani, Mr. Sanat Kumar Mupirala, Mr. Vishal Sharma, my colleague Mrs. Dr. Sangeeta Srivastava, Mr. Prakash Raman, Mr. Praveen Prashant, all distinguished representatives from the industry, and if there are good number of people from the academics also, thank you very much for being with us. I have been interacting with the Indian chemical news for the last 3 years. Many of the points which you have been mentioned, these are very relevant. Probably I will, of course, I have prepared something on this particular theme, transforming Gujarat into a global chemical hub. I thought about it. I have been a Vice Chancellor for the last 33 years, Vice Chancellor and Vice Chancellor above level positions. But I am basically a chemist, polymer scientist, trained in Max Planck Institute in Germany. So, transforming Gujarat into a global chemical hub, that is the theme for this particular session. It is a chemical and petrochemical conference. We heard about the importance of training and development in the area of chemicals. We have also heard about probably the negative perceptions about chemistry. I know some of the top chemists in this country who was FRS, fellow of the Royal Society and all that, they were denied visa to USA just because they have written in their visa application that they are chemists. I don't want to mention the names. You all know them. You all, they were denied visa to the US because they have written chemist. They have written chemist in the profession. But now people have changed that thing. They try to. So there are a lot of negative perceptions about chemistry also. But things are happening in a very positive way all over the country, particularly in Gujarat and also in the western belt of the country. A lot of new things are happening. So let me just share my personal experience as an academic as well as an institution builder. What my interaction with chemical industry, what has come out of it. It was the last speaker mentioned about the enhancing the number of women in the industrial floors of the industrial floors. That is something very serious. We thought about it. We had some sort of a program. Of course, you will see our story. I am from Somaiya Vidyavihar University. We have a program known as VChemi, Women Empowered in Chemistry. Chemi is the German word for chemistry, CHEMIE. So we have trained three batches. You can see that it was supported by a global industry. They want to enhance the floor presence of the women graduates in chemistry. And we got a CSR support, major support, and we trained good number of students. Originally, it was for the Maharashtra colleges and universities only for the women graduates. Now, of course, all of them got placed also, 3 batches. All of them got placed in the industries. All of them got placed. A 9 months training which we have given for the students. And then it was definitely extended. Maybe another company, major global company came to us to support that. That also you will see from the Somaiya stall, you will see. And then after seeing the success of this, limited success of this, of course, from the Godrej company, he was mentioning about 2 or 20%. After seeing the success of this program in a moderate way, the government of India, the Chemicals and Petrochemical Ministry, they wanted this program to be taken at a national level. So they have asked us to submit a scheme to the government of India Petrochemical Ministry to support this scheme in a big way, to enhance the presence of women in the industrial floors of the country. So it's very, very important, it's taking it. And this, I got cue from maybe this type of interactions. I have been participating religiously in this ICN function for the last 3 years or 4 years, 4 years, whether it be in Delhi, whether it be in Bombay, whether it be anywhere, I have been participating. I got a lot of clue from them, and that is why I could introduce this particular activity in the university. Similarly, of course, I have a presentation, very specific presentation on the Gujarat chemical hub and all that. I don't want to go through that presentations. Please circulate that presentation. But let me say what are the things we are doing. And then Industry Academy, of course, Ms. Panjwani, as well as all the other speakers mentioned about the Industry Academy collaboration. And it is, of course, you know that along with the industrial development and all that, university system and higher education system in the country is also transforming in a very significant way in this country. We have over 1,000 universities in this country, and out of 1,100 universities, 600 universities are in the private sector. Now, 600 universities in the country are in the private sector. When it comes to private industries establishing universities and all that, maybe for the last 1-2 months, I have visited good number of industries starting universities in a very significant, with robust infrastructure and all that. But we had a tradition also. For example, if you just look at Indian Institute of Science, it was a private initiative, Tata. It was, even now, when you go to Bangalore, it is known as Tata Institute, not anything. Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. It was a private initiative. Of course, there are several other private in Kanpur, but that plastic institute is there. Similarly, in BITS Pillai. BITS Pillai is a Birla institution. This is also a private investment. And there are large number of private initiatives, very successful private initiatives in research and development in higher education in this country, which is even now solid, stubborn, and functioning. And therefore, of course, Praveen Prashant mentioned about the professor of praxis and all that. Now there are in the education sector, a lot of changes are happening. For example, there is even in our any program in the university, up to 40% of the credits can be earned from outside. It can be from industry, up to 40%. For example, if I am teaching a particular course in a university, in any particular course, only 60% I need to teach from the university side, the 40% can be from outside, sir. This is happening. 40% credits can be from outside. So students can spend time, it is not just internship, maybe much more than that. And then joint industry academia, joint programs are facilitated. That also in the area of polymer science, we started of course I told you I am a trained polymer chemist. We started a joint industry academia, joint designed and joint taught program with one full semester of industry presence. They will have to go to the industry and work. So that we have started. In many areas, not only in chemistry-related areas, life sciences. Life sciences, because of chemistry, when we talk about chemistry, life sciences, we cannot forget. In life sciences, in engineering, all these things, industry academia joint taught programs are allowed now. Indian higher education system is also, under the present central government, it is really undergoing a paradigm shift. Industry participation is very much allowed, very much facilitated, and things are happening also. But it is very important. I'm overwhelmed by the presence of large number of industrial people. I was asking Mr. Panjwani, all these people could be from the private sector or are they from the public sector also? Of course, I worked in the public sector. After retirement only, I went to the corporate sector to run a university. So it is a lot of possibilities are there. For example, professor of praxis. We have very good number of people coming from the industry. Maybe some of them towards retirement. Some of them after 20, 30 years of experience in industry, they come as professors. They come as directors of the institutions. they come as directors of research in institutions. These are all happening here and there. Here and there, I'm emphasizing that point. But it is very important that these success stories should be brought out to the industries and tell how we can collaborate. When I say a professor of practice, it is we can take up to, again, that much of percentage of professor practice can be. For example, if I need 100 teachers in a particular institute in my university for teaching and research and everything, I can take up to 40 people from outside for teaching. They can come and teach a module and go. No, not go. They have to conduct the exam, all the other things they are involved. Similarly, now the higher education system, as per regulations, as per rules, the teachers in the universities, it can definitely go to the industry and spend 1 or 2 months a year. Of course, you know, in the foreign, we talk about Germany, foreign universities and all, USA and all that. Their university professors are paid, of course, I'm a university professor, universities professors are paid only 10 months. The rest of the 2 months, they have to go to some industries, maybe if they are in the humanities and social sciences, civil society organizations, they have to go to somewhere else and then earn the 2 months' salary. That is the, so these are all adding values to the collaboration. So now, of course, good number of private companies are also establishing universities, creating a lot of infrastructure. And there is no dearth of resources in this country. Of course, let me limit it to chemical sector. Of course, we mentioned about that the number of chemical engineers training, and similarly chemistry. For example, chemistry was the most sought out subject when I was studying chemistry and all that. Maybe 30 years ago, chemistry was the most sought out subject. Now, of course, now we conduct 4 or 5 MSc programs in chemistry, polymer science and all that. To get students for MSc chemistry and all that, it's very difficult. But now, what we have to do is, probably we have to find out how meaningfully you can just look at these opportunities of the universities and how we can collaborate. It's definitely a win-win situation. For example, we have professors who have worked in IPCL and then later they went to Reliance, teaching sustainability. Professors are there. So for example, we take in our management institute very top professors from the very top industry CEOs as directors of the management institute. So there are a lot of possibilities in higher education also to network with industries and do that. When I say that, it is probably I think we have to work a little bit more vociferously. We have to work a little bit more proactively to tell all these things and to do that. When you start some of these things, there will be definitely, oh, there is no precedence, how can I start? No, there are precedences, there are facilitations. Nothing prevents us in doing such things. For example, now in the degree program, 1 year they can spend outside. Now it's a 4-year degree program. 4-year degree program, 1 full year, the students can go to the industry, not only in this country, anywhere in the world. And students are availing it. And a time will come, they can afford to do that. Many of them, maybe they will go, and after 2 months, I have visited a good number of universities where our students are there. So after 2 months, they see that they are getting scholarships also. This is also happening. Of course, in chemistry and related areas, large number of such things are happening. And then that is about the opening of the higher education. Just as a liberation of economy happened during Manmohan Singh, when Manmohan Singh was finance minister. In the education sector also, this liberation has happened. And it is for us to just find out how we can do it together. So many universities, for example, after we became a university, we thought in every board, there is an industry academy advisory board for every program which we conduct. Every program. Nothing prevents us. Of course, I know you are all very busy with your time and all that. Now with technology and your understanding of the university system, you will see that you can do more. And then I mentioned about 1 year, students, 1 year spending in the university system or anywhere. Of course, many of them, some of them very bright and very maybe affordable students, they go abroad also. So these are all things happening in the university, which can happen in the university system in a big way. And also, the university system also needs to be strengthened. For example, we are talking about the chemical hubs. Max Planck Institutes in Germany are a clear example of industry academia, industry hubs. I worked, how many years, maybe 70? Almost 50 years ago in Germany, and I could see that near Mainz. I used to attend Academy and Frankfurt Academy conferences and all that. So we used to, for example, the chemistry department of we used to get the entire chemicals and all these things from EMERC, the chemistry department. So it is nothing for EMERC to provide the chemicals for a postgraduate program or anything, but that makes a difference. It is not that we get the university get chemicals or anything. They are well endowed. They can afford without that. But the very participation of industry and the very knowledge to students and academics that these are the things which are happening in industry, that is something remarkable for development. Similarly, if you just go to some of the laboratories, many of these laboratories, maybe in each chemistry lab, chemistry department or chemistry institute, you will find at least 5 or 6 industries, maybe small corners, 5, 6 industries working there. And there are also now, in India also, there are possibilities to do that. For example, if small industries which cannot afford big R&D developments and all that, they can just think about some sort of a corner and spending some time for their R&D development. And then international collaborations are happening. For example, I mentioned about this BChemE program. After one more company approached us. Of course, you will see that it was BASF, with BASF we started, and then Evonik, another company, they supported the Women in Chemistry program. Now we are also training very specifically for Asian paints. We are collaborating. When I say we, good number of institutions, not only my university, good number of universities. Now, for example, Asian paints, they want training for, very specifically training for their own workers in a flexible timing. Of course, we are in Bombay, it happens, we are providing specific training for the people who are working in the industry, chemists who are working in the industry. And then we have established laboratories which are open to industries also. For example, Shimadzu has supported. Shimadzu and Somaiya together, we have established a laboratory. All analytical instruments we are providing, and it is not only for our own MSc and BSc students or PhD students, it is for the industries as well, on a very nominal base. It's happening. Similarly, we collaborate with the polyurethane industry. There is an association known as Indian Polyurethane Association, IPUA. We have a joint program on polyurethane technology, very specifically diploma in polyurethane technology, very specifically intended for people who are working in the polyurethane industry. You know the size of it, IPUA, polyurethane industry. I understand it's a very, very, very high volume industry, polyurethane industry. So we are doing it. And then we have the pyrolysis technology. For example, many of the analysis cannot be, particularly with small and medium scale industries, they cannot afford to big instruments. So we are collaborating with the frontier laboratories in Japan, and we established a laboratory very specifically for pyrolysis analytic techniques, which is, instruments are available. This is open to industry, but our own students are helping them to do the analysis and all that. So there are lot of possibilities for collaboration. And then If you just look at the industrial possibilities of a chemical hub in Gujarat, of course, all the points have been mentioned. I am the old man out because they are all from the industries. But Gujarat is I think, very potential. What is that? Ambience for a chemical hub. For example, strategic location. The other day when our Honorable Prime Minister was inaugurating one of the ports in Kerala, that is Vizhinjam port, he was mentioning about the Gujarat and his own state. He was mentioning about the largest number of small ports are in density is in Gujarat. Maybe a strategic look, that of course, that is in the logistics, it's going to serve a very important. Then you have, definitely the infrastructure is there, policy support is there. For this particular state, I have been seeing, whether it be in Vibrant Gujarat, whether it be when Mr. Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister here and successive Chief Ministers also, I have seen that there is some sort of a consistent policy in the state. So policy support is there. And then skilled labor, of course, we have large number of skilled labor necessary, and it is very important to strengthen and upgrade our ITIs and the polytechnics also. Of course, polytechnics can, their diploma can be upgraded to a degree and all that. But in the chemical technology, plastic technology, polymer technology and all that, how the ITIs and how the polytechnics can be upgraded in skilled labor. So then innovation and sustainability, everybody has spoken about it. It is definitely, we have to work for that, but it is not the ultimate, definitely it's ultimate, but we have to work for it. We have to be very vigilant about it, and we have to be working for it. That is one thing which, and then these are the possibilities. But when it comes to challenges, the R&D, research and development, it is less than 1%. When I was mentioning about Germany, it is 8% of the 8% is they are supporting for R&D. Now in Gujarat, it is, you said it's 2% or less than 2%. Yeah, less than 0.7%, less than 2%. And then we have to just look at that possibilities also. We have to look at the government. Of course, governments have a lot of other preoccupations and other difficulties. But look at the country. We have, for example, we are mentioning about semiconductors. We have a semiconductor mission with several thousands of crores. And there is a National Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF, which is a new scheme. And then we have a ammonia mission and hydrogen mission, which is linked with naturally ammonia mission. And there are a lot of funds, and the schemes they envisage are a collaboration with an R&D institute, collaboration with a private industry, and collaboration with a university. These three elements should be there. Of course, only very limited applications. Only very limited applications for. Of course, the funds is not very high, maybe 1,500 crores or something, but very limited, maybe 5 or 6. So this synergy we have to create. Very limited application. I sit on some of these committees, very limited applications for that. So these R&D gaps, probably we have to just look at the R&D. Because I remember I used to visit, when I was a PhD student, I used to visit CS, Central Marine and Salt Chemicals, CMR institution in Pavnagar. These are all, premier institutions. You will see a large number of people trained from all over the world. But it's very important that we should probably look at even revamping and probably supporting them. And then universities are ready to provide scholarship to students if industry is setting up small labs, very specifically suggesting their problems. Universities are ready to pay big scholarship. Because now scholarship for research fellowships is around 45,000 rupees per month with 1 lakh contingent grant. There are not enough people, because it's very important that we should put our heads together to train them and to bring them. Maybe many of them maybe not be interested in the fundamental areas. They will definitely look at applied areas and all that. Mr. Panjwani was mentioning about he was a student of ICT, of former UDCT. It was a chemical technology department of the Bombay University. But how it has turned, how much, how it is a government university, it was a government university department of Bombay University. But with people like Professor M. Sharma and all that, the entire profile of that institution has been changed, and everybody wants to go to IICT for industry support. Even the chemical industry's profile in Bombay and around has been changed by the presence of Indian Institute of Chemical Technology. Probably in the higher education, research and development, innovation, I think your contribution, of course I'm addressing the industrialists, your contribution is going to be very important. And this type of, of course, I almost every day in the morning I read his ICN news. I don't understand many of the things that price has gone up, this price has gone up. But that's a very good thing. And even the participation in this meeting, I have benefited. Of course, I have benefited. I have tried to implement some of the things which we are talking. Of course, when we say about startups, in the area of chemistry, the startups are much less. We have around 200 startups in our campus in Ghatkopar, but we do not have very many chemical startups. Of course, our company, our sponsor is a chemical industry man, chemical engineering man, and we have the biorefinery industry also. But when it comes to chemical startups, it's very less. I was wondering, probably it is the easiest to do in chemical startups. In biology, in life sciences, naturally in ICT, lot of startups are coming. Why not startup? Just as you addressed the unicorn issue, probably you have to think about maybe startups in the chemical sector also, all these sectors. And then it is, when we say chemicals, of course, pharmaceuticals, API, all these things are directly connected. And I was writing an article, just a popular article for another polymer journal just a few days ago. So I quoted Shakespeare, in nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little that I can read. People are looking at nature. People are looking at bio-inspired systems, bio-inspired transformations, bio-inspired new chemicals, bio-inspired polymers, nature-inspired polymers. Probably these are all areas which we have to innovate. So R&D is very important. Training of undergraduate and postgraduate students is very important. Bringing back the glory of chemistry is also very important. And these are the things which we can do together. My transparencies are there very specifically for what are the challenges, what are the opportunities for establishment. I have given one or two success stories of, in Singapore there is a chemical hub. In Germany there are 2 or 3 very, very famous chemical hubs. I have given the examples also in the transparency. Of course, you know all of these things. I thought of just thanking you and acknowledging you and expecting your collaboration and support to the undergraduate and postgraduate education and research in chemistry and related subjects in this country through industry support. Thank you very much.